Alrighty folks, it's Angel, the hunting gear guy, and this is the Vortex 3X Spitfire Gen 2. The difference between the Gen 2 and the Gen 1, the Gen 2 is quite a bit more compact. Look at that. Look at the difference in size between these two prism scopes. So that's the primary difference between the 1 and the 2 is definitely size. So super compact little 3 times scope. Now compare this with a lot of your other scopes out there. Let's compare it with a 1:4 variable. There's our 1:4 variable, and there's our 3X prism. Man, that is compact. That is such a small scope in comparison that that gives you something very similar. What if we were to compare it like a 3:9? Well, now it's quite a bit different. So really, we're getting quite a bit of a more compact little prism scope. So let's get this to the table and take a closer look at it. Now, there's a couple changes that they made to this thing between the Gen 1 and the Gen 2 that I really like. There's a couple that I don't really like. Let's start with the ones I like. The size. Okay, yeah, we've got quite a bit more compactness. Already talked about that. The mount is quite a bit smaller. I guess they can get away with a smaller mount because they've got quite a bit less weight as well. So a lighter optic means they don't need like a big beefy interface like this, and a smaller, lighter, skeletonized one like this will do just fine. This one just has the one block in there for your pick rail. That's where you're primarily going to be stopping that back and forth motion. Whereas this guy has these nice 2 big keys in there. I kind of prefer that other one, but this one you could probably get away with. Another change is rather than the flip-up scope caps, this one has these flip open ones that that Vortex has been doing. And I think the idea with these ones is you put them together and they kind of hold themselves to the side there. I'm not really a big fan of these things. They're just kind of flimsy, and there isn't, like with the flip-up ones, you can just flip, and then go. With these ones, if you leave them open like this, they can potentially get in the way. So I prefer the other style, but okay, whatever. I mean, you could probably buy some flip-up ones if you wanted to use with this thing. The other thing you can do with these scope caps, you can fix them to the side there, and then pop that guy over there so that they're really trim and out of the way. Still not really a big fan. Now, the other big change that they made with the Gen 2 versus the Gen 1 is that now we've got buttons instead of this dial here. And the thing you can do with buttons is you can have an automatic off. Oh my God, finally an automatic off. There, I'll see if I can, I'll overlay the reticle just so you can see that. But fantastic, we've got now some electronics in here rather than just a quick dial switch that can kill your batteries. Now we won't kill our batteries, which is really nice. That's something that is really nice. We've got our adjustments now. Rather than capping them and using these little safety wires to hold on the caps, they just leave it open. I like it. It's simple. I could just get like the rim of a cartridge and just jam it in there and to turn it if I needed to adjust this thing. And you can see that we've got 1 click for 1 MOA. That's not quite as fine as the half MOA clicks on this other guy here, but I don't care. This is not meant to be like a sniper scope. This is meant to be a quick little magnified optic to use on your rifle. And I like it. We also don't have the 45-degree offset rails to put a red dot on, because why would you need a red dot on a 3X? So Vortex just did away with it. They just left it nice and trim, which again, I like that idea. Incidentally, on their 5X Spitfire, they do have a spot on the top where you can mount a red dot there. So good idea there. Nice and practical as well. So I think that's enough of the playing around with this thing. Let's take it out to the range. So we've got a super compact little prism scope here. Advantages, compactness. Oh my God, this thing is way smaller than my red dot. I'll show you a picture of that here. Yeah, I've got a big red dot, Aimpoint Pro. It's still way bigger than this thing, and this thing's got some magnification on it, and it's got a pretty nice eye box on it. So when you get behind this thing, A lot of the other stuff just kind of disappears and it isn't really in your field of view. So you can see a lot around your target, which is very nice as well. What are some of the disadvantages of this thing? One is the price. This is $550. That's pretty expensive. It's pretty expensive for a little scope. You're getting a pretty decent little bit of tech in terms of the optics and that kind of thing, but 550 is still a lot for a 3x scope. And then one other disadvantage, and it's minor, they do have eye relief that you need to hit. So you can't just have this thing anywhere on your rifle. You have to have it on a specific spot. It's not like a red dot, right? So it's closer to like a traditional scope. So you do need to mount it somewhere where you've got it at that correct eye relief, and you can't booger around with like going tight in or far out or anything like that. It has to stay in the spot where, well, more or less, in the spot where you need to be. I mean, there is a little bit of generosity in between, like going back and forth. You can still see the reticle and you can still like get to it, but you'll get a little bit of scope shadow if it's too far out, and if it's too far in, it'll just be, again, weird as well. So you do need to get that close to where you need your eye relief. So should you get one of the Vortex 3X Spitfire Gen 2s? I think it depends on like what you're doing with your rifle. If you are trying to go as trim and lightweight as possible, oh man, this thing's got some like real decent weight savings on top of what other optics are going to offer. You get a little bit of magnification, which depending on what you're doing with it, might be good. It'd be fantastic on a lightweight little 223, like an AR coyote rifle, something where most of your coyotes are going to be close in, and really nice for that. The only thing that I don't really like is again the price, but there isn't really anything else at this with this kind of size and technology. So I guess Vortex gets to set whatever price they want to. So check it out. Thanks for watching.